Fresh violence in Manipur has left 2 young children dead and triggered widespread protests, further escalating tensions in the state. The incident took place around 1 a.m. on Tuesday in the Moirang when a bomb allegedly hurled by the suspected Kuki militants struck a residential house. The explosion occurred while the family was asleep, killing a 5-year-old boy and a 6-month-old girl. Their mother sustained critical injuries and is currently undergoing treatment. Manipur CM Y. Khemchand Singh today chaired a high-level meeting to review the law and order and has strongly condemned the attack. He assured that those responsible for this incident would be identified and taken to task. The CM also visited the injured at the hospital and ensured that they received the highest standard of the medical care and support. The attack has sparked intense anger among locals in Moirang. The protesters took to the streets, torching 2 oil tankers and truck near a petrol pump. Demonstrators also burned tires outside the Moirang police station and vandalized a makeshift police outpost. Protesters quickly spread to other parts of the state, including Imphal, where residents blocked roads at several locations, burning tires and halting the movement of vehicles. Security forces have since been deployed in sensitive areas to bring the situation under control. Authorities have also launched search operations to track down those behind the attack, while an explosive device recovered from a nearby area has been removed, which has added to the security concern. Meanwhile, Manipur government has suspended internet and mobile data services for the 3 days across 5 valley districts, including Imphal East, West, Thubul, Kakching and Bishnupur, to curb the spread of misinformation. Now let me straight away go to my guests who join me in this show. I'm really short of time, so quickly I'll just go to them. PK Mishra, former ADG BSF, T. Michael Haupek Lamjathang and Colonel Shanti Kumar Sapam. Let me straight away go to Mr. Mishra. Sir, what is happening in Manipur? Can you define this violence which is taking place at the rim, where the valley and the hill meet?
Yeah, Kartika, I can tell you what the incident has happened at Tronglobi. This is the place from Moirang. It exactly didn't happen at Moirang, it happened at Tronglobi. And the fire came from Thanga hillside, slightly 200 or 300 meters length from Thanga hillside. And I'll tell you, it did hit a house of a BSF Jawan who is posted outside, whose family was there. It was intentional. It was absolutely intentional killing of his 5-year-old son and 6-month-old daughter, and his wife was completely, she's injured and she has been evacuated to hospital. Things have gone very bad. Then the people from Moirang and other areas, Turunglobi and Khongsang B and these areas, they concentrated, they attacked the CRPF camp, and in fact the CRPF people, they also retaliated, in which 2 or 3 civilians they were killed, and a lot of people from Moirang, they also attacked Moirang police station and they vandalized the police station area. In fact, the chief minister came to know about this. He has visited the lady in the hospital. What is that? That more or less Thanga Hill, particularly the region from Moirang to Churachandpur towards right, this is creating problem for the last 2 years or 3 years. We have to take very precautionary measures in that particular area, because whatever happened in Bishnupur, whatever has happened at Roglobi, whatever has happened at Tadal Kongsang B, these all have happened from Thanga hillside. The firing has come from that side.
Okay.
I don't want to name any militant group who has fired, but they know it pretty well that he was a BSF Jawan's whose house was there in front lobby, and they fired on him. Things are pretty bad. They are anyway. People, police is searching. They are trying to find out who are the culprits.
Okay, Mr. Hauke, your opening comments.
Absolutely, no words to share the grief of the family. This morning we had a very big Thado Hun cultural festival in Imphal. Yes, of course, specific input we have received, and the police department, most importantly the intelligence, also got specific input that the Kuki militants will definitely provoke the Meitei in Imphal so that the Thado people coming back after almost 3 years of staying outside Manipur because of this misidentification as Kuki. So we have planned a very big Thado Hun festival, the 8th state level festival program here in Imphal. Yes, despite specific input from Kuki militants giving us a threat that they will sabotage that the Thados people going back to Imphal. Nevertheless, Yes, from which direction and then from which area the attack would come, that was not clear. In fact, because of this, we have to shorten and curtail the Thado Hun festival program, which was the biggest festival for the Thado people in Manipur. So yes, nevertheless, many of the all the civil societies organization and many of the crowd have attended, and the rituals cultural part was conducted. So basically this is to attack the identity of the Thado, and the idea of Thado people trying to make peace with all communities of Manipur. And this is the reason why the cookies are deadly against the Thado's way of
Okay.
peaceful resolution.
So what's the Mr. Sapam? Then what's the resolution? I mean, say this really should end.
Acha, Kartikeya ji, good evening. Thank you for having me in your show, and good evening to both the panelists. What I have to say, what I have been maintaining since the beginning, is that there's no clash. I feel that there's no clash between the cookies and the Meiteis. I have mentioned before also, there's one act called Burma Act, which was signed in 2022, 23rd December by Joe Biden in US. And that was the policy of US in Myanmar. And this policy is enforced with budget, right? So just imagine, after the Burma Act has been signed, 4 months and 16 days after that, the clash in Manipur took place on 3rd May 2023. The new Chief Minister is trying to, bring peace from here and there. And I must salute Mr. Lamjathang Haukip also. He has been a very brave man. He's also trying to bring peace in going this side, that side, and all those things. But, whenever anybody tries to bring some peace in this area, something happens the next day. The Chief Minister came only from Ziribam yesterday, and he made all the, the Kuki Zo people there, that side in Ziribam, and the Mar people and all to settle, for the settlement, and then for IDPs to go back and all the things. And this has happened today in the night only. So there are people, I had mentioned before also, there's a person called Thanglin Po Guite. Thanglin Po Guite was an MP in Myanmar in 1990. He was an MP. And, he is part of the SU. And, 7 people arrested very recently, 1 American and 6 Ukrainian. These are all involved. And you may remember in one of the interview or one of the discussion we had with Mr. Savio and what you call Prasenjit Biswas, I had said something about the Chief Minister of Mizoram also. And that time I had used a very strong word that the Mizoram CM is a traitor. He went to US and spoke about this thing, and the video is still available. So what we all Indians, will have to understand is this is not a clash between the religion. This is not a clash between the community. This is my personal feeling. But deep state is involved. This is what I want to say.
You're saying it's an American conspiracy?
Absolutely. That is what I feel. That is why I feel the Burma Act was passed.
But let me tell you, the Chief Minister of Mizoram clarified his statement, on record. He did clarify his statement. But Mr. Mishra, my question is very simple. I mean to say, the SU agreements have been signed again, other things have been... Where do they get these projectiles from? Where are these projectiles coming? You call them missiles, projectiles. Where are they getting them from?
What the problem, Karthikeya? I am telling it last 2 years, more than 2 years. Have you guarded the border, Myanmar border? Have we deployed any border guarding force in Myanmar border? Your Mizoram border is free. Mr. Sapam was telling, I had been recently to that border, and I am telling you, how come this USA chap and also the 6 Ukrainian, they landed at Guwahati airport, they went to Mizoram, they crossed the border, went to Myanmar, gave the training, came back from Myanmar to Mizoram and came back to Guwahati, and they were captured at different airports, Calcutta and Delhi airport and Lucknow airport. Things are very bad in Mizoram border, and what Sapam has told, he's more or less correct, because even in 23 also you find when it happened, 1 American journalist was found in Surachandpur. So deep state is definitely involved. They are sending weapons, they are sending drones. So weapons are coming from Myanmar border, I do not want to know I do not know why we can't fence the border in BOP concept and deploy border guarding force like that of Indo-Pakistan border, Indo-Bangladesh border. Things are pretty bad in Mizoram Myanmar border, more than Manipur Myanmar border, I can tell you, Karthikeyan. Things are pretty, all weapons and drugs are coming from Mizoram border and not from Manipur border now, of course, because of
But
Manipur.
okay, you're saying it's coming from abroad. How keep you
Yes,
tried?
yes.
How keep you tried a lot of things? I remember your own house, ancestral house, got attacked. I mean, say this escalation of violence is not continuous. There is some absence of violence, and then the violence happens. So the message goes out that Manipur can never come back to a sort of a normal state. That is the worst part.
Yeah, absolutely. Government of India knows everything. And they are not weak. They are very strong. They are capable. But they design things to be in this way. They are designing. They know everything. They made the Meitei. They made the Kukis. They made the Tados. They made the Nagas. They made the Pangal. They made everybody. And they know they have a very big institution. So they are all aware. But the thing is, they are doing the cookie appeasement policy, and that hurts the sentiment of the Meitei. And at the expenses of the Thado, we keep on raising, because as long as this law and order is restored in the hills, like the valleys, there will be no sign of progress until and unless looted arms, weapons, which has been looted by majority Meitei people during the initial days, were already purchased by the hills people. And those were already used. The Meitei don't even know how to fire during the peak of the conflict, during the initial days. Many of the Meitei intellectuals are wondering, why should the Meiteis who don't even know how to fire airgun have to loot the weapons for their survival? So in that case, my point is like the hills, especially you see Trong Labi, all those things, if you know the geography. So the police, it comes under Pautakhai police station.
Okay.
That means that's Imphal, Bishnupur district. So if you look into this nature, Kartike, it's very simple. Rule of law has to prevail in the hills.
Yes.
Every life, human rights has to be protected. First things, the Thado human rights has to be protected. Then only Manipur peace will prevail.
Okay, we'll come to it.
Unless the Thado
We'll come to it.
human rights-
We'll come to it. I've really run short of time. Thank you all of you for joining me.